Board of Zoning Appeals. And before we start, like we always do, I'm gonna ask the people standing to recite the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, before we get started, well, first we're gonna ask for a roll call from our secretary, please.
Okay, Tom Hill,
Here.
Dave Zera,
Here.
Ken Sullivan.
Here. All right, let the record show that we do have a quorum this evening. And I'm gonna now ask our legal counsel, Mandy, to talk to the audience, anybody who's going to testify why she needs to swear you in.
Yes. So we actually have an unusual situation tonight too. I have a conflict with one of the cases. So if any questions or anything are needed from the legal perspective, it would have to be tabled for a further meeting for law director.
I would say it's the fellow you were talking to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Well, hopefully we won't have any legal questions.
Correct. And I don't think you will on these, but you never know.
Yeah, okay. Appreciate that.
But I will swear you anybody in who comes up to talk. You need to state your name, where you live, and I'm swearing you in because anything that you tell the board is like testimony and can be used against you in the future and can be used as evidence if anybody were to ever appeal the BZA's decision tonight.
Okay, thank you. All right, Rachel, if you will please read case 2026-0011 BZA.
Okay, applicant, I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong, Nezram Lisa submitted a conditional use application for property located at 710 Riverside Drive. The request is to allow the placement of a chicken coop and run within the required front yard area of a residential property without the required side screening between.
Okay, I find no error in our zoning inspector requiring a conditional use permit for this. If there's someone here who would like to approach and speak, tell us what you'd like, what you have and why you're here.
Perfect, thank you.
Mandy, you need to swear.
Can you state your first and last name?
Lisa Newsom?
And do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth to this board tonight?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let them know what you would like.
So I understand that you know the property, which I heard you discussing a few minutes ago. So it's a pristine property. I take pride into this home, and my daughter is homeschooled. So I decided to get a couple chickens, and the only area to have a chicken coop is pretty much in the front yard. The house is built on a hillside. It is a tri-level home, so behind the house that was the flat area is a pool. It's a huge patio that wraps around to the other side of the house towards the, I guess that would be the east side of the home. So behind that patio is a retaining wall, and from there it just goes uphill, and then it goes past my property line. So I do have a fire pit on the west side of that hill, but it's dug out. So it still is a hill. So that was a question that was asked of me, was the fire pit. So I personally had it dug out flat to have that fire pit be flat like it is, but it's a very small little fire pit. Everything else goes down like you're basically sliding down a slip and slide. It's just, there's nothing I can put there. As far as where the coop is now, it's on the west side of the property to the 10 feet off of the neighbor's property. And it's in between, it's actually surrounded by 3 pine trees. So you can barely see it from the road. It's 62 feet, give or take, from the street. So it's not near the street. It's completely visible. And even right now, as we're, coming out of winter, you can barely see the coop. I did end up putting a run in for it. There's 3 chickens. I got rid of the rooster. I did have a rooster. I got rid of that immediately. I also had 4 chickens. I lost 1 hen over the winter, so I only have 3 left. The run that I did put on it probably isn't big enough, but for 3 hens, I think it's sufficient for now. It's about 5 by 7 on one side, and then the other side it's 13 by 3-ish, something like that. I would like to make it a little more sturdy because right now I just have bird fencing that's over the top and along over the top. The sides of it are they can't get out. It's like a cattle wire that I used. So the top of it is a bird fencing, it's very thin. So I would like to redo that if I can, which I can, just so animals can't get in. So with that being said, in my opinion, because I understand where I live, but it's hidden, and it's for my daughter that's homeschooled. So that's just where I'm at with it, and yeah, that's about it.
You mentioned that the coop is on the the west side of your land. Isn't it on the east side?
It's on the east side. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Anyone else to speak in favor of this? Anyone else to speak against? Questions from the board?
Just a question, in terms of the write-up on the case, it says something about, without the required side screening between. Could you elaborate more on what you mean by that?
So typically when chickens are in the backyard, they're screened in, so they're fully covered. So if you remember on Madison Avenue, there was the lady that wanted the chickens, and her yard was smaller, and her coop was gonna be inside and attached to the garage, so she fenced in for the screening portion of it, so the neighbors behind her didn't have to necessarily see it. So ultimately, her screening for the Riverside Drive, you have the pine trees here and here, but ultimately there is open, so you visually could see it. So I was covering all bases to make sure that it was screened.
You can see it from the east side. looking-
Possibly. This property is very unique, and obviously the drop off, where the coop is 736 versus like where the neighbor's house is, 748. So you're already at a 10-foot drop, and there's the amount of natural screening up there in nature, but in terms of opening, anytime a case comes and I want to make sure that if it's not there, that it's a base that's covered, just so then if there's ever an objection in the future of why it was allowed.
So can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
again? So the neighbors next door, that's on the east side, they are retired, they live in Florida, they barely come home. So as of right now, if I were to actually be living in their property and looking out the window, I would be able to see that. It's very nice, but they don't live there. And they own the home, and they're not planning on selling it anytime soon, because I did talk to them last summer. So that's just something just to let you know, just some more information, FYI.
Yeah, I believe that there's, in terms of enough space, it's not, we've miniature ponies. In the nature of for where the coop is, it's in a spot that you're very non-aggressive and encroaching.
I know I drove up in the driveway and I couldn't find it.
Nice.
I drive by that property every day, and it was only over the weekend that I finally noticed. Because
Yeah.
I was
That's
looking
good.
for
I had to go looking for it, and okay.
Good.
The reason I asked is because the zoning requires screening, meaning like a fence or shrubbery or something that would block the view from your neighbor, but it sounds like that's pretty distant.
If I need to put a couple shrubs in there, I totally get it. If they end up coming back, I don't know. I only seen them once last summer, so.
And that's what I was gonna ask you, if they would come back and say, hey, I'm tired of looking at your chicken coop. Is it something you would consider doing then?
Oh, absolutely. Putting a couple
I suppose we
bushes.
can make that a
Can
condition.
we
If
make
the
that
neighbors
part
ever
of our
complain, we would
You
require
could,
you to
like,
put up
we're-
adequate screening.
Put
The
in like
screening.
3 arborvitae's gonna fill in within 2 years, and you're not gonna be able to see anything. If anything,
So
it'll help
make
the
that-
snow.
Okay.
Right.
wellness.
But would that be adequate?
Oh, yeah.
In
Okay.
case something happens to
Yeah.
the greenery that's there in the
Yeah.
front, we would want that.
we were just discussing, and if something were to happen and the greenery that's in front would die, we would just wanna maintain that,
Right.
because we don't normally permit anything in the front.
Yeah, believe me, I don't wanna see that either.
How many chickens would be the maximum that you would?
Oh my, right now I like the 3 that I have. It's easy and it's not something that I'm looking to do anything, broadening that at all unless I move. So
Well, yeah, it's just that when we do this, we typically will dictate how
3
many.
eggs a day are good for me.
3 is good.
I would, yeah, I mean, if you want, you could take 6 in case you wanna do those, the meat hens in terms of there. So if you just say 6, cause then they'll,
Awesome. I would really appreciate that.
yeah, so they can set it at 6, cause that's what you're allowed.
Yeah, I would
Any other
appreciate
questions? Someone like to make a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to grant the zoning certificate requested in 2026-0011 with the limiting the number of chickens to 6, and that there be no roosters, and that the greenery that shades it from that masks it from the road be maintained. And if additional shrubbery is needed on the sides to screen it out, that the applicant would be willing to do that.
Absolutely.
Anything else? All right, motion's been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
You wanna read that back, Rachel?
Yeah, I was actually still writing it. Okay, so,
Take your time.
a maximum of 6 chickens.
Yes.
Okay.
0
Um,
roosters
No roosters, and then the greenery maintained.
from the road, yeah,
Okay.
from the roadside
Okay.
and the sides.
Inside. And then, did we set a term?
Not yet. The other, we need to do that. And did you include that if the neighbors would ever say anything, that additional screening
Oh,
should be
okay.
provided on the east side of the property?
Additional screening
What do you,
on the east side.
Oh, 5 years.
we can give minimum for continued, for one of these issues, we can do 1 year up to 5 years, so we're giving you the max.
Thank you.
So you would have, in 5 years, you'll get a notification to come back, and if there's no problems, that you just get it
You don't
renewed.
even need to come in, you just fill out the paperwork.
Okay. Are we adding shrubbery or screening?
No.
Just screening.
Just,
If I need to add that screening,
yeah,
If the neighbors say anything, put something there that screens the view.
okay, okay.
It can be natural
Yeah,
screening, so that's where he was talking about the arborvitae's.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be like, you know,
it doesn't.
Physical.
need-
Okay,
mesh or
nothing.
something
Okay.
like that.
Something crazy, you can just look at
Okay.
it.
Okay,
Okay, you said, Dave and
I
Sarah
second.
seconded? Okay. Tom Hill,
yes.
Ken Sullivan,
Yes.
Dave and Zara.
Yes.
We might as well, since it's already there, we might as well,
Journalize, sorry.
someone wanna make a motion?
I move that we journalize case 2026-0011 BZA.
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded. We'll tell you what we just did after we vote.
Okay, Ken Sullivan,
Yes.
Dave and Zara,
Yes.
Tom Hill.
Yes. Normally, when one of these, a conditional use permit or a variance goes before our board, it doesn't become official until the minutes are approved at a future meeting. But by journalizing the decision, it makes it effective immediately. So you're good to go.
Thank you so
If the chickens are at a store, you can go buy 3 more of them.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Rachel, if you would read a continued case from 2025, number 0300 BZA.
Okay, applicant Sean Brock submitted a conditional use application for property located at 116 Meadows Drive. The applicant is requesting conditional use approval under section 31.03A1 of the zoning resolution to allow the keeping of chickens on a residential parcel less than 50 acres in size, or half acres in size, half acre in size.
Okay, if I know error in zoning inspector requiring a conditional use, I take it you or Mr. Brock, if you'd like to,
Yes.
you can swear him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to this board tonight?
Yes.
Okay. You can go ahead and let them know what you want them to know.
Okay. Okay, so I got some chickens. I didn't know I had to have a permit, and then I found out that I needed a permit. And where I had my coop location wasn't adequate enough. It was too close to the property line of my neighbor who didn't have a problem with it whatsoever.
That's the one
He was-
behind you there? on the
Yeah, he
corner?
was like, don't move it, don't move it. I'm like, no, they want me to move it, I have to move it. So I moved it 20 feet off the property line, and then the chickens had to be fenced in. I had them to where they were basically staying in my yard and in one other yard. Sometimes they would cross, like one would cross the street or something like that. But none of my surrounding neighbors have an issue. I mean, I've talked to all of them with the chickens. It was somebody that called that lives a little bit further down, I imagine, from what I understand. But since then, they're fenced in. They figured out how to get out a few times, and just learning like I had to cut a branch off my tree because they were climbing up the tree and then hopping the fence, and I'm like, you guys can't be doing that. So I got that under control. I keep their coop super clean. It never smells or nothing like that. We're always out there maintaining it in the boxes and, making sure there's no bugs or anything like that. And we use the eggs a lot, between, on my blended family, there's 7 kids. They're all athletes. We have a bag of hard-boiled eggs in the fridge at all times, and, they're constantly smashing good eggs, I have my garden, that's my passion, and together as a family, we kind of like have a lot of old values. Like the kids will sit down, we make our own pickles and our own sauces, and I just have jars of it all inside the garage, and homemade pasta sauce and all the stuff that's, we know what's in it because we made it ourselves.
How many chickens do you have?
So right now I had 6 and I was down, and then somebody behind me must have got rid of some chickens or something because they've been they got into my coop and they've been there for like a few weeks now. So I got to get rid of a couple more.
So these chickens just showed up from somewhere?
Yeah, it's the second time it's happened since I've had chickens.
You're missing one, right?
Yeah, so it's the second time it's happened. It's because we've had to go out there and like double count, and then I had to get rid of some of the chickens, and I got rid of some of them to a friend of mine in Madison who was allowed to have as many.
How big is
chickens
your
as they wanted.
0.31.
It's the biggest lot I think in the neighborhood.
Okay, all right.
So how many chickens would be acceptable to you?
It would be cool to like have what I have. I mean, I'll get rid of a few if I have, but like 8 would be cool. Yeah, I could keep that many.
Are you meeting all the other conditions for our zoning resolution with the run and the height of the fence and the height of the coop?
Yep, I got the height of the fence. The size of the coop is adequate enough. Yeah, I mean, I bought. It's made for that. That's what it is. It's a chicken fence. It's a higher fence, so they can't fly over it.
Mhm.
So I think it's about like 5.5 foot or something like that. And it's just, you just put the stakes in the ground, tap it in. Not a permanent structure,
Okay,
And yeah, keeps them in there.
good.
So this one, I don't think, it also does not have the required screening.
Yeah, so in the rear screening, because I think at some point there was a fence along the back.
Yeah, and then the poles and all that is down. I took that down, and there was a fence along the back, and my neighbor's actually supposed to be getting a permit here in the spring right behind me. So the whole back parcel of our lot will be, he's putting a privacy fence up. I have the privacy fence I got for him. He's just gotta buy the post and get the permit. And then he's putting a gate on his back property. And then, I'll be able to have even a little bit more of a run at that point for the chickens to where I could just cut them off right there. The neighbors right next to me, they have no problems. They're always feeding the chickens. They're always coming over, the ones that are right next to me, Sue and Laura. And then, You know, the ones that are behind me have no issues whatsoever, and then there was neighbors next to me, but she's not there anymore. Just due to age, she went into a home. So there's no one in that house anymore. And so really don't even have any neighbors on that side of me for now. And that's the only house that could really see them. So, is from, you know, if you turn down Sunnywood.
And that's not screened now, is that correct?
It's not like you can see through the fence, yes.
Didn't you guys take the fence down?
Yeah, the wooden fence, that's down. Well, some of it's down, it's rotting away, basically. But yeah, there's no fence up around the garden that way anymore, no.
And that's where the chicken run is.
And that's where the chicken runs with just the metal stakes and fencing and that's it. There's no wooden fence up or anything like that anymore.
So if you guys look at the, on the application, you would be able to see, obviously, I believe, like this silver square, and then there's a Sharpie square where the coop has been shifted to,
And that's where it's at now.
and that's where it's currently at. He has a run around it. He does allow the chickens to run like this, the garden. I don't think at all times, but I think like in the down season type situation, because I'm assuming they'd be messing around with, you know, they like insects and all that fun stuff, but I don't know how they mess with crops and everything else, so.
Yeah, they would destroy all my tomatoes. But they don't really mess with anything besides tomatoes. Sometimes cucumbers, they'll eat those too. But they don't mess with like peppers and stuff.
So what you guys would be looking at would be the lot size and then the number of chickens, and then if the neighbor didn't put up the fence, then there would be no screening along the rear.
There's screening there now though. I do have it like along the rear where the chickens are. It's all screened in so they cannot go anywhere but in that run area. So I'll come
You're
over
good.
here real quick. So like, here's my garden fencing. It's just like regular. Yeah, and then it's fenced in along this fence right here with the temporary fencing, and then it comes out and around and then back to this way. So they have all this run, and then my coop's sitting right there where you wanted it.
That's all see-through fencing right now?
Yeah.
Sean, what does the resolution require in terms of screening for something like this? What would be your best judgment on that?
So. Screening from adjoining property to the rear. I guess the interpretation of what screening would be, most of the time when you think of screening, it's either a fence or like we had talked about, which would be shrubs or something. Basically from like the aspect of a visual effect, right? And I'm always looking ahead, right? So when you think about like neighbors, so even though everybody's good neighbors now, but if this person wanted to sell their home, or this person wanted to sell their home, and they did everything they could to make their house straight and narrow, but then somebody comes over and they look over and they go, I don't want to look at chickens type situation. That's basically the nature of their chickens are fairly common and around the township, but in the nature of, from the zoning standpoint from code, vertical screening would be something that would block the view, like not necessarily a cage, right? So it would be a screen of either arborvitae, trees, or dense bushes, or as Popeye's, a 12-foot fence to block drive-through lights.
Directly from my garden, there's no house across the street right there. There's like, the house is like up further.
Yeah.
And then right, you see we're in the front of my house here, you see where all those pine trees are?
Yeah,
The pine trees allow a lot of, coverage as well.
I have a photo of what it looks like from the street.
I think the concern would probably be, and this is just along the back, I know that the new neighbors there, I mean, they've stopped in for their own, things that we brought to their attention.
Uh-huh.
And I don't necessarily know what the view is from Miss Laura's property. I don't recall taking any calls in. Have you taken any calls in?
This
Lisa-
stemmed from a complaint.
Well, the original complaint, but in terms of when the letters went out, like,
No, I
Cause-
didn't get any calls.
cause
after
notifications, go out to all.
I even
touching
went as
neighbors.
far as like checking neighbors like 2-3 doors down, and there was nobody like even locally that could even see the chickens. Maybe somebody. What I think happened is there's a lady that owns a few of the duplexes on the other side, and I think she came down there and was parked in her car and seen my chickens, and I seen her flipping out in the car. So I thought maybe it was her, and she doesn't even live there. She just has rentals.
No,
Yeah, because the thing before was obviously he had free range chickens, so it was more like, hey, they were, had free reign. So, sometimes people get antsy about that type, right? The other case, you can attest to that too, right? So,
You mentioned that you had a fence going down, the red line there, it came partway down there
Mm-hmm.
and then wrapped around going
Yes.
towards the top of the screen.
Yep.
What kind of fence is that?
So that's like it's like a wooden stockade fence, and then right up against
Wood
it,
on wood?
it's wooden. Yeah, it's been there forever.
Oh, I saw that. That's about, what, 5 foot high or so?
Yeah, and then I have the actual screening right up against it, so that the chickens can't go through to the neighbor's yard or anything like that.
So they can't get out supposedly and predators can't get in.
Nope. Predators can't get in at night because the coop is completely it's done well, it's caged and everything, so they can dig to get in or anything like that. So they're super protected, and they have an automatic door that opens and closes. So they all go in at dusk, every single one, every single night, and that door will close, and in the morning it'll open, and they'll come out in their little running area.
Okay, anything else?
Just one other question. So did you say that your neighbor that's behind you is getting ready to put up a privacy fence
Yeah.
between your house and his house?
Yeah, so his privacy fence is gonna go like this. This is what he wants to do, is put a gate going across here to his garage, coming over to this way, coming down our property line where this old fence is, we would take it out. I was gonna help him do it. He's gonna come down here to right here, to his property line here, and then he's gonna cover the back of it right all the way across. And I think there is a joining fence on his other side, so that would, basically the same kind of fence that his neighbors have, is the same kind of fencing that I got for him that he's gonna use when he puts it up. And then that'd add even more privacy at that point.
You know, about with timing, when he's.
In the spring here, as soon as, that's what he said, so I'm sure he still has to come in here. I gave him his paper, so he's got the paper to fill out, cause when I was here the last time, I made sure I grabbed one for him so he could fill it out.
Okay. Anyone else to speak in favor of the request? Anyone to speak against? Any other questions from the board? Someone like to make a motion?
I'll move that we grant the conditional use permit for case 2025-0300 BZA for a period of 5 years, with the understanding that your neighbor will be putting up a privacy fence between your property and his property on the back line of your property.
Yes.
You wanna give him a time that has to be completed?
You said spring?
It's kind of tell the neighbor what he needs to do, but
How exactly do you do
Yeah, I
that?
don't know.
Maybe it'd be something that a fence needs to be, fencing needs to be in place.
If your neighbor doesn't do
If he
it,
doesn't
you'll
do it,
be
you're gonna need it,
responsible.
yeah.
Well,
And that's-
if my neighbor doesn't do it, I've already supplied all the fencing for him
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
Because I already got enough crap to look at in my yard, and I don't wanna look at all his, and he don't wanna look at all
Let's
mine.
let's
Yeah,
just make it
okay.
so that a
That's-
fence is erected
Better, okay.
within,
Okay, so if we put the time limit by the end of June, would that?
Oh, perfect.
Okay,
That'd be
so
done by then.
the condition would be for 5 years with the understanding that a fence will be erected between your property and your neighbor's property, with the understanding your neighbor is going to do it, but if your neighbor does not, then you would be responsible for putting up that fence.
Absolutely.
by the end of June 2026.
Got it.
Get a number of chickens.
Oh, yes, the variance allows for 6 chickens on your property. So I would make the condition with 6. with
Okay.
No roosters.
Yeah, we don't have no roosters.
She needs 2 more chickens.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, the motion's been made. Ken, you want a second?
Second.
Okay, so for a 5-year term, and then a fence will be erected between his and his neighbor's property, by the end of June of 2026. In hopes that his neighbor will be the one who's putting up the fence, is that,
With the understanding.
One of,
With the
one of the two,
understanding.
yeah, there's a fence there by the end of June.
okay. I said for a 5-year term, a maximum of 6 chickens and no roosters.
Correct.
Did I miss anything else? I think I got everything.
I think you got it.
I think I got it. Okay, Dave Zera,
Yes,
Tom Hill,
Yes,
Ken Sullivan.
Yes.
and you wanna journalize this one too?
yes, I'd like to make a motion to journalize case 0300 BZA 2025.
Second.
Okay, Tom Hill,
Yes.
Dave Zera,
Yes.
Ken Sullivan.
Yes, okay. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
I think this is the first time we've had 2 chicken people in here at one time, with nothing else.
Nothing else.
All right, you guys have a great day.
All right,
You
good
too,
luck.
thank you.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing, or hear a motion to close the public hearing.
I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, Ken Sullivan,
Yes.
Dave Zera,
Yes.
and Tom Hill.
Yes. All right, next we're going to, if there aren't any objections to the minutes from December 9th, other than the one that we already made a change to it. If people noticed, we wanted the ARCO to store pot in the back, no, not ARCO, but the renters to store pot in the back of their property for 6 months. It's supposed to read pod.
I
So with
corrected
that change, with that
beforehand, yes.
change, are there any objections to the minutes? Recommend that a motion is made to accept them as submitted with that small change.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Tom Hill,
Yes.
Ken Sullivan,
Yes.
and Dave Zera.
Yes.
All right, next, minutes have been submitted for the meeting December 15th. If there's no changes there, if someone would like to make a motion to accept them as submitted.
Make the motion.
Did you make the motion?
I did.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, Dave Zera,
Yes.
Tom Hill,
Yes.
Ken Sullivan.
Yes.
Okay, any old business? I think we just took care of some old business. New business?
The only thing I would have would be for next month's meeting, for April. I will be out of state from the 14th to the 21st, so a couple options would be continue and hold the meeting on the 14th as scheduled without me, and or Amanda holding the seat, or you can run the meeting without the YouTube setup. Tentatively, there's a case for the Sunoco gas station. There's a new owner there. He said he'd be fine if he waited until May. There would be another case for a similar use that the trustees approved at the last meeting. But he hasn't gotten his paperwork in, but I'm still touching base with him on stuff, so it's fairly cookie cutter. And then a possible renewal without an attendance for bees.
Bees.
Yeah, like a beehive, so.
Well, I won't be here in April as well. No, wait, April 14th?
April 14th.
I will be here. I will be here. I don't, do you think you'll be here?
I'll be here, yeah.
I think I'll be here.
You don't have, there's no assistant zoning inspector. I think,
Yeah, I mean, you can, I mean, Amanda, you know, she has not done it, but I mean, I'm confident in her doing it.
yeah, I don't have a problem. Let's just clear the docket and get it done.
Okay.
If they're here.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll schedule it. All right. Any other old business or new business? New business, we are into the third month of the year and we are running as chairman and co-chairman suspiciously not being elected. So, if someone wants to make a motion for a chairman and vice chairman, we can make this go.
I'll make a motion for Tom Hill as chairman for life. David Zara as vice chairman for life.
Do we have to do them separately or can we just do them?
You should do them separately.
Okay.
Because if somebody doesn't win their
All
this motion here.
I do not object to being chairman again. I'm flattered that you still consider me able.
Ditto.
So you say we should do these separately.
Yes.
So Ken made the motion.
So
I
we're-
can't second it.
Yes, so this is for election of chair.
Chair.
Tom Hill.
Chairman, yeah.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Dave Zara,
Yes.
Ken Sullivan,
Yes.
and Tom Hill.
Yes. Now, question. Can a candidate either make the motion for himself or second a motion for
Yes.
himself? Okay.
Yes.
Why don't you make the motion, Ken, and he can second it? Make it look so I'm not suspicious.
I'll make the motion for David Zara to be vice chairman.
I suppose I'll second. I'll second.
I can't do that, right, as chairman? Or I can?
I
I've always
think
been
you
told I
can,
I've
but
always been told I can't make a motion or second a motion.
I don't know if I agree with that. But I'll look into it further so that
Yeah,
way you know
because I
for
would
sure.
like to get involved in some of
Yeah.
this seconding.
I've
Yeah.
seen
motion.
Gabe as chairman vote for things when it's needed. So
Okay.
Like I know for a city council, you would be able to, but I don't know.
Check that out.
Some things
at
for
your
township are
convenience.
different.
Yeah,
So
at your convenience. Someone told
Yeah.
me that I couldn't do that. I think it might have been that Mike Lucas guy.
he has no idea what he's talking about.
All right, motion's been made and seconded.
wait, who second? Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I missed that. I don't know why I missed it. Okay, Tom Hill,
Yes.
Ken Sullivan,
Yes.
and Dave Zara.
Yes.
Okay. Need a motion to adjourn the regular meeting at 7:10.
I'll move, excuse me, I'll move that we adjourn our regular meeting at 7:10.
Second.
Okay, Dave Zara,
Yes.
Ken Sullivan,
Yes.
and Tom Hill.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
7:10.
Congratulations,
You too.
co-chair.
Thank you, Ken.
Payments.